Hey guys, welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures. We are out in the barn this morning, and this is a short video on what do I do to leave my farm. How do I go on vacation? What are the things that I do to prep to go on vacation to leave my farm? First and foremost is feed. I make sure that all of my feed is here. I have extra feed, make sure that there is enough feed to make it through my vacation. If I need to calculate that, then I do so. But as you can see, there's plenty of feed in this feed room. So I do that. Second thing is I have a feed board. This tells my help everything that they need to know about what we're feeding, what supplements there are, what horse gets what cow gets what, down to the chicken feed and what coop gets how much feed and all of that. So there's no questions. It's right there in blue and white for them to see. They can just, walk back to it. If they second guess themselves, they know that it's there. Obviously, we make sure that there's plenty of hay. We do that before, winter anyway, and it is winter, so we have plenty of hay right now. But like for Billie Jean is just getting exclusively alfalfa hay right now. So we made sure that we had plenty of hay, just in case. You never know if something's gonna happen that's gonna delay your trip, make it longer. We just make sure that there's extra. I went through this morning and I cleaned stalls. Everybody's fed, happy. I've put my eyeballs on everybody. They all look healthy, happy. My stalls are clean. My waters are topped off. It's winter time, so we don't worry too much here in the south about freezing temperatures, but I made sure that all of my electrical outlets are working just in case we have a deep freeze. We're not scheduled plan to have one, but just in case, I made sure that there is electricity to every stall to plug in heaters to water troughs in case my help needs it. But all my stalls are clean. It's a very sad day. My carrots are frozen. I'm so sad. Look at them. Water your garden if it's applicable. Obviously it's not for me right now. It's my first true hard frost. These carrots will probably bounce back, but all of my chicken coops, I made sure that all of the feeders were full and all of the waters were topped off yesterday. For my heifer, made sure that her water was topped off yesterday. She's fed. She looks healthy this morning. Checked on my compost piles. Obviously they're steaming, but there's no craziness going on as far as heat. So that's kind of a big deal. Depending on what time of year that you're leaving your farm, you want to make sure that your compost piles aren't too hot when you're leaving, because us homesteaders know what ideally we want to do with our compost piles, what temperatures we want them at, but our help might not know anything about that. So we want to check on our compost piles, make sure that they're good. Check on our gardens, depending on the time of year, make sure that they're good, watered. All of your water systems are set up if it's summertime. Of course, for me it's winter, so right now we're not worried about that. And I try to do these videos every time I leave. I try to do these videos just to kind of show you guys what I do per the time of year that I'm leaving. So right now we're in late fall, early winter, so it's a lot less than summertime. Summertime, there's a lot more infrastructure that goes into leaving as far as like watering systems and stuff like that. Right now we don't worry about it. For me, gates are important. Making sure that my gates are where I want them to be is important. Now I know my help is coming tonight, but leaving the gates as I would leave them to leave my property tells my help when they open a gate, all of my help knows to look at a gate before they open it, and they know how it should be shut, what it looks like when it's shut. So I make sure that I go through and I check all of my gates. Like for instance, Velvet's gate is tied with her halter rope. There's 2 knots, not just 1. That's important. All of my gates are shut the way that I'd like them to be shut. And everything in my barn looks the way that I'd like it to look. And my trash can lids are on. So when my help comes in, and that's one of the main things that I express to my help is, look around when you walk in. This is how I want my barn to look when I come home. Making sure that my feed room is secure from my animals. That's a huge deal. You do not want your animals, if for whatever reason that they get out, you don't want them to be able to access barrels of grain. That's a huge deal. So making sure that my feed room door is secure is a big deal to me. And for me, I'm fortunate. I have a very good boarding facility. My dogs are packed, so is their dog food. And this is all of their medicines and a blankie for Rescue More. They're going to board. Bassa is going to go with us. So I have the crate packed. My truck is packed. Of course, we have 2 coolers in here with refreshments. And just putting my eyeballs. Of course, we just had our first big frost, so you guys get to see the garden for the first time when it's still frozen. So pretty. So, of course, the tomatoes are gone now. Everything looks pretty sad. The cabbage will bounce back. The kohlrabi will bounce back. The okra, of course, is gone. All of my peppers out there, tomatoes, they're all gone. But just put your eyeballs on your garden so you know what it looks like before you left. Look at the Swiss chard. Oh, it looks so sad. And maybe, you know, some of this froze hard enough that it won't bounce back. One thing that you can do in a heavy frost like this, you know, if everything's really droopy and frozen, you can water it. What causes your plants to die and turn to mush is that their cell walls actually explode. So just like if you take a jar and you fill the jar with water and you put it in the freezer, if you fill the jar too full, it explodes. It breaks the glass, right? It's the same thing with plants. That's what causes them to explode is that their cell walls actually get, when they expand, they explode. And so like tomatoes and peppers and things like that, their cell walls are not as strong as our brassicas. Our cabbages, our broccolis, our kohlrabis, our kales, they have thicker and more sustainable cell walls. So that is just a little, you know, science behind why our garden freezes and how it freezes. But if you want to, you can water your garden, and that will actually help to stop the expanding and the exploding of the cell walls to where you don't have mushy plants. It can help, but obviously, I mean, we froze to 25 last night, so like the tomatoes, they're not savable. they're sad. But anyway, that's just a little bit of something that you can do to help. But I always put my eyes on my garden before I leave, just so I know what it looked like before I left. In you go, old lady. All right. Are you ready for a road trip? Huh? Got your binky. Yeah? Oh, good.